Hello, everyone, and welcome back into another episode of Austin's Academy of Sports. Hope you all are having a great week. Hope you had a great weekend, great Father's Day weekend, whatever you guys were doing for your fathers. It was a great time. I took my dad and my mom down to the Tigers game on Sunday, and it was a great game to go to. Not the best result that we wanted. But it was another sellout in Comerica Park, just as expected, the best team in baseball. Returning home to play a mediocre team, I guess you could say, in the Cincinnati Reds in that weekend series coming off a series win against the Baltimore Orioles. But they kind of overlooked the Reds in a little bit of a way where they lost the series, obviously 1-2. They won the first game. Friday night, it was a good game. Gleyber Torres hit a home run, and he kind of sparked the offense in that game. And then Saturday, Jack Flaherty took the bump, and he was atrocious. He gave up about 5 walks, the most in his career. And it's not a recipe for success, especially if you want to win and you want the aspirations of going to a World Series, potentially winning a World Series. You got to pitch smart in the zone. You can't allow the 5 walks, especially to a team that takes advantage of anything. Any Major League Baseball team will take advantage of you if you're giving up 5 walks, a bunch of errors. And that's what happened in Saturday's game. It was a 1-1 game in the top of the 5th. Jack Flaherty took the bump in that inning, had most of his walks already, and then started out that inning with a couple of walks, and the Reds pummeled him. Grand slam later, Jack Flaherty gone. Bullpen comes in, and that's where things went down the chute from there. 11-1 final score. I don't even know how that happened. 10 runs later, the Reds win that game 11-1. So they score 10 unanswered runs against the Tigers, who are supposedly the best team in MLB. They still are record-wise. 46-27 as I speak, entering the series versus the Pittsburgh Pirates coming up in this week. But they got to get back on ship here this week. And the Pirates, that's not going to be easy. Another team in the NL Central, like the Reds, and not going to be easy. Skeens were facing on that last game on Thursday. Skubal is pitching for us on Wednesday, so should be a good game, good series. They got some potential players that could become a future Tiger in this year's trade deadline, which I will talk about a little later in this episode. But going back to that Sunday game, I attended. My parents attended. We were up in section 344, if anybody cares or wanted to know, but it was a good game, hot day. A lot of people sell out again, and it was just fun to watch the Tigers succeed in that energy, in that moment again, where I don't know, the Reds kind of took advantage of some sloppy play, and of course the bullpen in that series. But in Sunday's game, the Tigers' defense, 3 errors. 1 or 2 I want to particularly highlight, and the 1 was just a pass ball from Sawyer Gipson-Long. Dylan Dingler couldn't handle it, and that goes in the books as an error. So the first one, no particular order. Zach McKinstry had a chance to turn 2. Third base, ball hit right to him. In and out of the glove, rebounds it, throws it over to Torres at second, and I think Torres bobbled it in connection with a bad throw from McKinstry. No double play because the guy on second was safe, and then by the time he bobbled it and threw it over to first, both of them were safe. So that goes down as a sloppy error there. And then they go on to score in that inning as well, a few more runs. And then another inning, Javi Baez, same thing. Not turning 2, but just a simple ground ball to him at short, and failed to throw it over to first because awkward throw, if I remember correctly, in and out of the glove again. So there's 2 out of the 3 errors, and that other one, like I said, was a pass ball, but just a sloppy game on defense. The Tigers are a good team, but they don't have the offensive firepower, kind of like the big market teams like the Yankees or the Dodgers, to come back from a game like that with all those errors and come back and unsuccessfully shoot themselves in the foot. So they don't have the team like that. They're kind of a grinded out team, show a lot of grit, move first to third on base hits, score, take that extra 90 feet whenever possible, and they just couldn't get on base. The offense was good. It wasn't great. Didn't show up in timely hitting matters. A few home runs from Jahmai Jones and Wencel Perez. But that's it. That was the only Tigers offense. Tigers go on to lose that game 8-4. Ellie De La Cruz hit a bomb in the ninth as well. And the bullpen gave up a lot of runs. 15 to be exact in that series. So, which kind of brings me to my next point. Who Scott Harris and the Tigers go after as the best team in the MLB for the trade deadline? Multiple options. I want to highlight 2. One on each sides of the ball. So if you don't mind, we'll start with the offensive side of the ball because baseball is in kind of an offensive game, and that's how you win the games, is with offense. First one, Tigers reunion. Third baseman Eugenio Suarez. He played with the Tigers in 2014. Few negatives to that, but I want to start with the positives. He right now is on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are in contention for the playoffs, so maybe the Diamondbacks aren't even thinking of trading him, but you never know because just last night, Sunday night, the Red Sox traded Rafi Devers to the Giants, who are battling neck and neck with the Diamondbacks as well. So I imagine off of that trade, they'll want to keep as many weapons and if not even get more weapons as well. So they'll probably keep Suarez, but if he is on the option, or if he is on the market, I should say, it's worth a call over if you're Scott Harris, just to see what he's up to, because he's a powerful third baseman, and that is exactly what the Tigers need. Matt Vierling is their only third baseman right now, and he is in Toledo on the injured list. He's dealing with a rotor cuff injury and don't know if he'll ever be 100% again. Definitely not this season. Those kind of injuries, I guess, lag a little bit. And he came back earlier on in the season, re-aggravated it again, and now he's rehabbing with the Mudhens. But he should be back by the end of the week. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe next week either. But by the end of June, he'll be back before the 4th. And maybe he'll be our everyday third baseman. I don't know. But we need a third baseman. Suarez, he ranks top 10 in home runs and RBIs. 19 home runs, 52 RBIs. He's used to playing with the Tigers, like I said, playing in 2014. Now, the one negative with him is he's a 33-year-old on an expiring contract. And if you're not familiar with salaries, join the club, because I'm not either. But I know that expiring contracts kind of lead to downfalls with older players. And because they're older, they want more money. And they've earned it because they've been in the league a little longer too. But I'm not sure Harris is willing to pay or take over that contract from the Diamondbacks with Suarez. So that could be my potential third base option. Just what the Tigers need. A third baseman and a right-handed hitter who mashes. He could anchor that young group right in the middle of that lineup behind Torque, behind Riley Green, or he could even bat second. I don't know. AJ Hinch has options to platoon him with. So, Suarez, give him a call if you're Scott Harris and see what he says. See if he wants to come play in Motown. Best team in MLB, by the way. Second option. Aroldis Chapman. Flamethrower, you may have heard of him from the Red Sox, who just dealt away Rafi Devers. So they are obviously selling. And another call worth over if you're Scott Harris and the Tigers. Need a right-handed pitcher out of the bullpen to, how do I want to say this, come in solidify a win. Just like Sunday, if you're the Tigers, you need a dominant bullpen arm to come into the game, throws nasty heat. Chapman does. 100 plus miles an hour for his fastball. His fastballs very rarely go below the 98 mile an hour mark. And especially as Will Vest is injured, Holton hasn't been himself as of late. And he would be a great option, 1-2 punch. 8th inning, 9th inning. 8th inning being Tommy Kahnle, and 9th inning being Aroldis Chapman. Or, switch them, whatever you want to do if you're AJ Hinch. He's got a 1.65 ERA, and he's got 27 and a third innings pitched this year. Like I said, he tops 100 plus miles an hour on his fastball. Just a great guy, great locker room guy, and competitive when he's on the field, just like Skubal. So that's my bullpen arm for Scott Harris to reach out to. Trade deadline is July 31st, so you got a little bit of time, but with the blockbuster trade on Sunday night, Rafi Devers to the Giants, trades are happening now. Get on the call, get on the phone if you're Scott Harris. Help your team, propel your team to the playoffs. That's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Austin's Academy of Sports, and have a great weekend.